What's up, y'all? It's Tyler here, just sending in a quick update. As I mentioned before, I ultimately applied to 6 schools and I was invited to interview with 3 of them, and those interviews have been completed. And so I feel really good about, the conversations that I had with the alumni, with the admissions team. Everything was perfect. I wouldn't change anything concerning my interviews. I haven't heard back from 2 schools yet in terms of interview, wait lists, rejection, or anything. So still waiting to hear back from 2 schools. And then I was let go from 1 school. And so that was a really difficult moment for me. And I've kind of been going through a grieving process. But from the very beginning, I told myself that I was only applying to schools that I was excited about. And so I'm still excited about the schools that I applied to and the schools that I received interviews for. And so I'm excited for what's to come. My interview process was not nearly as scary as I expected it to be. And that's in large part because of the tremendous amount of support that I received from my MITME Fellows family, as well as current students at the schools where I interviewed. They reached out and said, "Hey, Tyler, let's do a mock interview." And having been able to do a couple mocks here and there really helped to, boost my confidence. It really energized me. It helped me to think thoughtfully about the things that I wanted to share, helped me to think thoroughly about my story and what was important to bring out in conversation. And more importantly, it helped me to be my authentic self when I actually got in front of the adcoms and the alumni and the current students during my interviews. And it helped me to be exactly who I am and share exactly what I want to do. And those things came across clear, they came across genuine. And I feel really good about, my interviews. And again, that's in large part because of the support that I received. And it reassured me as I think about, potentially going to some of these schools, knowing that I will have a support system and that I can then turn around and do the same for other prospective students as they pursue their journey.
Hi, MITME family. Just giving you all a quick progress update as to where I'm at. I have completed interviews. I received invites from 3 different schools. All 3 schools I was super excited to hear back from. They are my top 3 schools, so I was super excited about that. I prepared it for all of the interviews a little bit similarly. I looked at previously asked questions. I researched the schools, looked at professional and recreational clubs I would want to join, any other curriculum or institutes or anything that the programs had that I would be interested in. But for each one, I really looked at the behavioral questions that they were asking and trying not to get blindsided during the interview, so I knew that would make me a little bit extra nervous. Spoiler alert, it did happen during one interview, but I was able to recover because I remembered at the end of the day that this interview goes both ways, right? One, they're assessing whether I'm a good fit there, but I'm also assessing whether I want to be a good fit there and whether, what kind of student and staff these schools have and whether it's somewhere I see myself. I was interviewed by alumni and students, so I didn't get any AdCom interviews, which really helped me see the kind of culture that was cultivated at each campus. Something that I really was able to lean into was, my life experience and highlight how my life experience helped me move forward and help me set my goals and why, paired with the skills that I'd be learning in business school, I would be successful after graduating. I think I did well in all my interviews. I'm super excited to hear back. But most of all, my biggest piece of advice would be to remember that these interviews are a representation of who you are, and it's the way that you can highlight, aside from your scores, aside from your GPA and those numbers, really highlight what makes you special and why you yourself, deserve to be at those schools, but why they also would be lucky to have you. And I'll circle back once I hear back, and hopefully I can report some good news, some offers, and some great financial aid packages.
Hey friends, so today I am talking about the scariest part of the interview process. And I would say that personally, it's actually not during the interviews, which I'm still going through, that feels most daunting, but it's actually after, and trying not to fixate on, did I use the right word, or use the correct example, and striking that balance of taking corrective feedback from what I'd like to do better next time, while still understanding that if I am authentic in who I am and intentional and truthful about why I'm pursuing an MBA, then even with those small imperfections of what may have occurred, AdCom and the students and the alumni interviewers can still recognize me for the fullness of who I am.
Hey everyone, so quick update. I ended up getting into 8 of the 11 schools I applied to, and I've narrowed it down to 2. By the end of next month, I'll finalize it. Super grateful to the process. Very, very, very fortunate. I'm going to choose my school probably based off of what I think is the best fit for me. I think both the schools that I've narrowed it down to are great fits, completely different opposite sides of the nation. For one of them, I got accepted into a dual degree program, and then for the other, I got a pretty large scholarship, so it's gonna be tough to decide. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I think by the end of next month, I'll be able to talk to my friends and family and figure out what's best for me.